Welcome, everybody. Good morning. And it is always nice to come back. So, this time my session was after 3 weeks. So, I was thinking, oh, it looks like a much more longer time I have not given because this is my passion. I love to see even if one person has been able to execute what we say, they will be in a path of creating a wealth. And this is what I'm going to do today. So, my request for you all is it's a wonderful first step you have taken to do the awareness. First is an awareness, and second is how to implement those. And that's very important because most of us, I know, will have the knowledge we are being aware of, but either our priorities are a little lower because it gone to the back burner or we don't find time. Sometimes I feel we give an excuse. So when we give an excuse, then it'll just procrastinate to the next time, and next time never happens. So I'll give you a few examples on and off as I'm going through. I can tell you most of my customers when they speak with me and they says, Rachna, why I didn't meet you before? I have lost so much of time. And I always says that it is nothing like you have lost time or something. It is a good you are going to start. Okay, so there is nothing called a good time or a bad time, or a market is good or market is bad. As long as we are entering, it is good because these are just a comparison. We are comparing ourselves with the past, but we don't know what is there for our future. So I'll just take few things. What it says that it is better to have a hen tomorrow than an egg today. Okay, so this is the what is talking about. Most of us, we always try to see that we sell in desperation and then we will sell cheap. So before I go forward, I anyway respect to Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and I was going through his biography. I'm going through so many things because we lost him recently. And one of his major learning also was like that, how we make sure that we think long, we think how to take care of averaging, the compounding. Because I remember one of his things, which is the highest in portfolio, is Titan, and his average stock of Titan is 3 rupees, where it is going so five now. So these are the things give come from the Motilal as a, one of those, as a very nice. I loved it. All these cartoon, which says talk about always patience at its own reward. Stay invested because most of us, we get panic when the things goes right and left. So I'll give you one more example of how people get panic and how they go with the crowd, or it's like most of the time people go with the flow kind of it. So maybe you must have heard, seen, or maybe people have asked you around maybe 4 or 5 months back, everybody was talking about crypto. Okay, and lot many people comes to me, and that's the best part of my job, and which I love it because people keep coming and asking and meeting us to know their psychological behavior, investment patterns. So that's what we do, and that's a part of it. It says that, Rachna, why you are not telling about crypto? Then my answer was very clear because as of today, SEBI didn't allow us to do the as an advisor. So that's why I'm not doing. Second thing is I myself is not sure how to do. It may be the best investment, but I am not sure. So if I have not done it and I'm not sure what is underlying and how it is going to do, I'll not do it. Third and foremost is I have not done it. So most of the time, whatever I give an advice or whatever I try to do, first I apply myself and then I tell to others. Same thing is with the what you call, I can say, in webinar. Whatever I am going to give you the examples, you can be make sure that I have done it those, and then I'm going to give it to you because I believe that if I can do it, why not you? You can also do it. So that's another thing. Stay invested is very important because patience is the most important jewel of our life. So we don't keep a patience. So most of us, okay, it's become 30%, 20%, 10%, and they just says, okay, we'll go out. And the same customer came to me 2 months back, and to most of the customer, because I am in a part of lot of crypto groups, and I know few people who are the CEOs of those companies who is owning those. And he came and he told me, Rachna, now I invested 1 crore and now I am only 20 lakhs, can I sell it? And I got so wild and I said, When I told you not to do, you did it. Now you are coming and telling me it is 80% down, and you are asking me to, can I quit? I said, forget it, anybody. You have to realize that you can average it out. It's not that it may not come up. Of course, there are a lot more crypto companies have shut down. They have stopped selling. Quite a lot of things happening. But you cannot exit at minus 80%. You have to average out. So some things you cannot be reactive when you're creating a wealth. Wealth, you have to decide, imagine yourself like you are sowing the seed, and you can think of when you sow the seed and the seed become the tree, and tree will give you flowers, and then it will give you the fruits, and then you can take the regularly fruit yearly, correct? So you have to imagine your wealth is the same way. So when you have started doing the such a big tree has come, let us say you think you have sown the mango tree. Over the years, it is growing with so much of manure. It is taking care of all those sunlight, water, everything. Then it start giving you mango every year. Even you have noticed, even in the so many fruits, even the tree, the one year they give the very good fruits and one year not. But those fruit seeds you can take and plant it again. So same fundamental was in the financial also. So it is never you're thinking to make a big money. You should sit and start making money consistently over the time. So this is the same thing. A stock will move above or below the business value depending on the emotions that economics is. So you should realize it. Nobody can predict market. The market goes for the future expectation. It's not the past, and it is linked to so many things. It can be more of emotion, so that so many people comes and tell me, actually being in this industry, I personally don't actually follow the market. Okay, I don't follow the market. If you ask me today what is a stock market, of course on the overall level I will know what is Nifty and Sensex today is up and down. But if you say me what is an IT sector is doing and what is a benchmark of this is happening and all, and what is underlying for that, I won't. I believe I should do what I'm good at, and what I'm not good at, let the person do who's they're good at. So, our research team, with Anil's guidance, he is passionate about it. He does. So, he asks us as a person, this is the market, this is his market movement. You move from mid cap to the multi cap or a balance or these other funds which is doing good. We just follow. Similarly, you have to make sure the money people makes is not because they have money, because they have that behavior attitude to make money. So that's another learning I have seen most of the time. All the fund managers are in the bull. So if you ask anybody, so somebody asked me, the market is going low and all this stuff. How you feeling? How was your business in the last COVID time and all? And I was telling, when the market goes down, I'm the most happiest person. They said, why you are so happy when the market goes down? I said, that's the only time I get the maximum customers. My acquisitions are always higher when the market is down, because whenever the market is up without anything, they are the fund managers. When it is bare, you start thinking that you need a somebody who is good at, who can take a diversification, who can take an asset allocation, who can think of in advance, who can just tell me how to do and what to do. So it is like I can say simply is last 2 days son is having fever. What will happen? Okay, you take a steam, you take a haldi milk, you take a dolo. If the third day is not become all right, it is a time to go to the doctor. It's the same thing happens with all of us. So first we will do it yourself kind of concept. My friend has told, my friend has told, my Google has told, or some I can say WhatsApp groups has told. I am been doing it. But we have to realize each one of us have a different appetite. We have a different goals. We have a different income. So sometimes the funds which is doing very, very good for my friend may not be my good for myself, because his entry point was a different benchmark or a different, I can say, time frame. And now I am a different. So for example, the sum fund, let us say ABC, is doing very good because he's entered the time where the market was down. And now market is up. If I'm entering, my returns may not be the same. Correct? So we have to realize that everyone is unique, our needs are unique. Let us make how to create the wealth. So this is the one question I keep asking everybody whenever I speak. So if you have, please write it or raise it. I will make sure that you can speak or write it in question. What does a wealth means to you? Can anybody can write it? So this question, I can't find anybody. So let me take myself. Wealth means to me is most of the time, at least I'm talking about personal, my customers around 1,000 plus, and most of the time that things comes to us because we are a emotional person. So we always says we should have that much of money that take care of my all family needs and my family goals. It means that if I have a kids to kids higher education, I should be able to manage. If when I'm retiring, I should be having a money alternative income, which will give me as a salary per month. It should give me the experience of a vacation or a different place I should do. And if I'm able to all doing about this, if time permits, of course, time is the most precious, but if sometimes I should be able to give back to society or to the charity. So these are the things which I always feel to me is a wealth. If I'm able to do this, above this is my greed. So most of the time, if I need a 1 lakh or 2 lakhs a month after my retirement, as per your lifestyle, I may need 10 to 12 crores. And after 12 crores of investment from there, I am good enough. I don't have to do that. So this is the another customer meeting yesterday I have. She is in Dubai and she was explaining me the same thought yesterday. She says that most of us sometimes we are so much uh, involved in creating a wealth, we forget a relationship. And I always feel also the same. The relationship is much above the financials, of course, no doubt about it. We need a basic finance to take care of our lifestyle, but above that. So she said one of our person whom I'm not so close called me in. I'm talking about Dubai yesterday and day before. She was telling that call came and which says that she's not able to do. She's crying. My husband having a I think so heart attack or something, and I don't know how to do. So she said, okay, I was just ran back home and got the car, packed something because I didn't know that. And she was telling she has almost like 3 or 4 houses. She is having so much, but she didn't have any contingency money to pay to the hospital. That is the one learning yesterday. Of course, we keep saying, but yesterday when she was telling, I can relate to it. I have seen so many customers sometimes. You have so much fixed assets, but when the contingency comes, you don't have a flexibility to pay. So when we are creating wealth, so of course she was able to, as a good Sumatran or angel, she was able to swipe her card and do it. But wealth is that takes care of your needs. Okay, you have to be very, very careful on those. So these are the four simple wealth step by step. I can tell you, I have done all four. I am continuing doing it. I have given to the next generation, my daughter also. She's been trying to do the same thing. She's 21, and I have learned the same thing for my parents. So, a good thing for me is always because I'm ex-army person's daughter. So I think so by inbuilt it came to me quite a lot, but is nothing. I can say it's difficult to create it. What is the setting the goal? It's very, very important. These four aspects, I can tell you, creating wealth is an emotional and the behavior part is not the money. I have seen the person who is salary is 2 to 5 crore have a lesser portfolio than the person who's having 20 to 30 lakhs. So I can bet it because I have seen people have done this, but you have to be very clear what you are looking at. So first and foremost, let me have a small video. Please let me know if you are able to hear.
For building a house, It is essential to create a perfect blueprint for the same. Similarly, for building a wealth for you and your family requires you to build a financial blueprint, also known as financial plan. Here are the 5 steps of building successful financial plan. Planning for uncertainty. First step is to protect yourself from uncertainty by buying required insurance policies to ensure that any uncertainty do not eat up your savings. Build contingency corpus. Second step is to build contingency corpus up to 6 to 9 months of your monthly expenses. This will protect your long-term investments from the contingencies like loss of job or slowdown in business. Set financial goals. Third step is to set financial goals and find out when and how much money would you require to achieve these financial goals. Create portfolio. Fourth step is to select right asset class and product to invest and to achieve your financial goals based on the time horizon and your risk appetite. Portfolio review. Fifth step is to review your portfolio periodically and do the necessary adjustments into it based on the remaining time period to achieve each goal. To create a financial plan and to review it periodically,
So as it is mentioned in the video, that first point is to make sure the set the goal. So that's the first point I wanted all of you. So what I have been noticing, so most of the time you also should start noticing and you realizing that you do have that behavior you have to do. So we do set a goal. So I'm sure whenever you are, I'm talking about from Bangalore perspective here. So if yesterday or day before yesterday we were having a Onam Sadhya and I was just trying to do the from I remember stay in Banagata Road. So in Banagata Road, I have to go to Indra Nagar. What I should do? So first thing is I just went to the Google map and saw how far it is. Okay. And all of you must have seen or seen some other Google map or normal maps, even the book, if you wanted to see in like olden types, it will say you there are 3 different routes. And Google map is at least because it's a dynamic nowadays, everybody use it. So I can try to give you example. Is it saying that if I'm going with the Viveka Nagar, it is this much of time or it is so much of jam. If you're going by the nice road, how much time it is. If you're going by the MG road, how much time it is. So it is giving me the 3 different routes. You have realized one thing there, your starting and ending point is the same. Okay. You have a 3 different route depending on your time, duration, and the money. Similarly, in a financial plan, the first and foremost is a very, very part is setting the goal. Set a goal for yourself. If you are not able to set, then it will be like this, okay, whatever leftover money is there, I will invest. And most of the people, I can tell you, they have that habit of, I will try to do investment only whatever leftover money. And that's why we are not able to achieve and then we struggle, okay, that okay this goal what to do. And so I have another friend of mine came to me, I think so last week. She says, Rachna, my daughter is going to do the medicine, and for the medicine she needs around 50 lakhs, and she's wanted to do in US, and US we have to go as a residency, and residency doesn't give you the education loan also. So how to manage? And it was very very tough for me to see that, because most of the higher education we are able to get the education loan and it works wonders. But for medicine, because you are not as a going as a student, and you're going as a like a, you can in easy word you can say internship or a residencyship, there you don't come as a student, and then you can't get as a student loan. So she is going in 23, and now if I don't have 50 lakhs, she won't be able to do. And all parents, I'm sure, or all kids wanted to aspire their goals and wanted to achieve what they want to do. So I was just thinking in a mind, I didn't tell her, it is not so easy when she's an entrepreneur, that to get the money in 1 year, 50 lakhs. We need to plan. And the planning is start when the kids are small. So I know I do have a 2 kids, one is 21 now and one is 15. I didn't know till now, even I don't know also what they may be doing. but at least I can keep it in a mind ki, okay, for a master's, I'll keep 40 lakhs. For maybe a graduation, by the time I should need a 20 lakhs. Approximately, we will take care what they do. So what they are doing actually may be different. It may be lesser amount or more amount, but 90% of the time you are okay. So planning is very important. That's where the goal setting comes to us. So financial planning is talks about you are in a path of wealth creation, but wealth creation is only after when your all goals are set, you are making additional, and that additional can help you in a society, doing a charity, you do what you like to do, start your entrepreneurship, help others, all those. And then you will start working for yourself, not for the money. And that is what my definition of a wealth. So somebody asked me how you define it. I says, actually, that's true. I don't have even username password of my bank. And I never think twice to when you want to buy. It's not that ki I buy so much. I'm not a person who purchase, but yes, before I go, I have a very clear cut things that, okay, I will buy these things. And I'm sure that much money will be there in the bank. So I don't check. So that comfort comes to you over the period when you know your lifestyle. That is the one thing which I'm trying to derive in this today's session. Even though I'm giving a different examples of my friends, customers, and myself. So, what is a financial planning? Always think financial planning is a three buckets. Okay, first and foremost is risk management. Very important. We don't even think most of the time risk management as a part of it. So I'll give you very latest like a example, yesterday evening and today morning's paper. I'm sure if you have seen the papers or the, I think it's news, it's like a across the globe news that best of the, I can say, I don't want to name it, best of the villas in Bangalore, which is today's, it says as Rishabh Bajaj, this one, Premji, where he stays. And there's all those villas, if I'm not wrong, it's 10 to 15 crores. And few of our customers are staying there, and they came and told that they have to evacuate with the boats because the water has gone so high. And they were explaining me today, Kirachna, I have spent so much money on the woodwork, I have spent so much money on interiors, I have spent so much money, and how I will manage. Of course, next 1 week they will be outside the house till they clear and all this stuff. It's a part of a risk management. The first question I asked them, is it you have taken the house insurance? And none of them has taken. None. Which was the another things for me. I'm not saying that every year the rain have so much or water clogging happen or whatever. That's a different city things and whatever it is. But we are not risk. And he was explaining me the interiors was around 1 crore, 2 crore, and all this stuff. And I was just thinking in my mind when he was explaining, because I can understand how difficult it is when you have made such a beautiful house and spend lifetime earning, and in one single rain issues has gone fully. So this is a very I can say latest risk management you can think of. We sometimes feel okay, it will not happen, but for me the risk management most of the time highest priority, please do without fail, is the health. Take a health cover apart from your corporate cover. Most of the people, they don't take it apart from a corporate cover. So they says, okay, corporate is taking care. And when they quit on an average of when their age is 40, 45 plus, most of us, and India has started having, and our Western culture is having, most is like we have sugar or a BP or something or others or diabetes, and getting even at 45 a good health cover is not coming. So when you are young, please take good term cover, good health cover, which will be taking care of the most top two risk. Most of us will take a good car insurance, and this is what annoys me most of the time. Whenever I go, I said, why the hell you take a car insurance? That car is not even 20-25 lakhs. You are paying approximately 30-40,000 premium. So their question and answer is like this, because if I get caught by the government, I have to pay the fine. So indirectly, we are not taking an insurance of the car because we want it, because the government is being pressurizing us on the rule. Because government is not pressurizing on our health and the term, we are not doing it. So I always says we are priceless. Of course, you can have another car, but life will not happen or a good health will not. So please, at least whatever you're paying for a car insurance, that amount you take a good health cover and the term cover, because we are priceless and it is much, much important than the car. Contingency plan, as I told you, very, very important. It is, I can say, nobody, it's like an unforeseen risk. Known risk, we will say, okay, if we are not in a job, what will happen, or if suddenly medical, but nobody knows about COVID, correct? We don't know. So sometimes we don't know. In a suddenly somebody came and told me, Ki Rachna, I have this sudden plan and I don't have a money because how to handle it? My relatives required suddenly this much of money. So it's maybe sometime in not us, my family, my friends, and contingency may come anytime. So please make sure that we have whatever you spend in a month, at least 3 to 6 months is being kept it as a contingency fund. Contingency funds can be kept in your FDs or RDs or even in a debt liquid funds. That's good enough to keep it across. When we have finished step one and step two, the most important part is what is our emotion, our heart is all about. So somebody asked me how you define that you are happy or you're good. So because that's the one thing which I keep saying everybody that more than money you should be very happy and that happiness works. So I said it's very easy for me to say that okay, I'm happy or I'm doing good, because as soon as I lie down on a bed, within a 5 minutes I'm sleeping. So you that's another way of looking how well you sleep. Are you able to sleep 8 hours? You are able to sleep within a few minutes you lie down, or what? Because that is a peace of mind works the way. And that's the reason, if you notice, we always tell as in our right horizons that we guide you to achieve your goals with a peace of mind. Uh, Sanjay, there's somebody has raised the hand.
Yeah, ma'am, we can continue. We'll be taking the question.
Okay. So, what is a goal based? As I told you, it talks about how to make sure that we have a retirement, kids' education, vacation, buying a house, buying the, I can say, car, anything. What is your goal? Okay. These are the normal goals, I can say. But everybody, as I told you, is a unique. So you will have a different goals also. Yesterday, again, I met, because on an average, I meet four people in a day, which can be new or the same customers or somebody. I always felt it is so easy. The best part of it, so I asked him, because this is the new trend is coming. A lot of time, customers are coming and asking me, Rachna, tell me what is the percentage in your model a person should buy a car. I'm talking about high end car. Maybe it's around 50 to 1 crore or 1.2 crores car. And then I asked him, I have no idea about it, because most of the time, whoever came to ask me, I see only three things. One is that you are able to achieve your financial goal, because buying a car should not impact your goal. Second thing is you're financially okay to buy it because it's not giving a tax efficiency and all, or company car lease. Third is you should have a passion to drive, or you are the person who like long drivings. So if you are not a person to like long driving, or you're not a passionate, like a person like me, for me, Nano and even Mercedes will be the same. So it doesn't matter for me. So it's a depends on a person to person. If you're passionate, you love driving car, you go for long drive, finances align you, your goals are achieved, why not? It's nothing wrong. Then somebody yesterday told me when I was talking to this, he's also one of my customer also, and he says, Rachna, I buy an very high-end car, but I had a limit to see how the Bangalore's traffic goes and all this stuff. So I purchased in 60 lakhs or. But why I did it? Because I have given a target to me that the day I will sell my company, I will reward myself with that car. And I said that's a very good goal, because sometimes we should reward ourselves also. And when we do good, because, and he says, you can't drive so much. And he was explaining me, Actually that those cars are so good, but do you know that clearance is so low? So sometimes I'm not able to do. So I said, oh, I didn't know that. So similarly, whenever you have a goals, everybody have a different ways of looking it. But most promptly, which is most linked to our emotions, are retirement, home, and the child are the top three most of the time. But you can have so many different things. I have few customers thinking across like a sports management going and doing very good. Very few people do it because they are good in sports, how to take care of going abroad, have a good coach, doing all those things, doing the 60th birthday of their parents and themselves as a one of the goals. So there are different things where people set the goals on a differently. Most of the time, if anybody comes to me, uh, the goal setting required only three things. If somebody says, Rachna, I have some money, I wanted to do investment. So I normally don't invest money just because somebody is asking me to invest money. I always tell you should associate the whatever you're investing with your goal, because the time you associate that, you will not redeem or withdraw it. So I'll give you example. Somebody has to plan to buy a car, for example, and you know that I wanted to buy a car not through a loan, I wanted to buy myself. So I'll say, let us say, okay, we will invest 20,000 per month, and within 3 years, we will be able to buy a decent car. Okay. So now, if I am moving this 20,000 per month SIP for the car, even if he needs the money, he will not redeem it because, or whenever I'm using word redeem means withdrawing, he is not going to withdraw because he knows that if I withdraw, my car will not come. But if I'm saying that, okay, I have additional 20,000 I'm putting, he may not have associated emotions to that. And I keep saying this, please try to associate money within emotions, and emotions will drive you, money never drives you. Emotions will drive you that I will have a new car, I will have the alternative income, I will have taking care of kids' education. Those are the one which is going to take care of it. So please make sure you set a goal for that. It is a long term or a short term or a medium term. A short term to us is below 3 years, 3 to 8 years is the medium term, and long term is above 8 years. Why I am saying these terms? Because the type of, I can say, asset allocation, what we do is depends on that. When we are a long term, you may try to do it in equities, but if it is in a short to medium term, you may be combination of, you will take a hybrid fund with a long term and a debt funds. When you are short, you will be just doing most of the time, we call a hybrid or the balance funds, and with a mostly on a debt bond side. So it is depending on the goals we do. Time horizon is very important, and risk tolerance. So this is the another question which I love. Most of the time when I ask a person, no, how much, so we are being in a PMS company also. So I get a call quite a lot that I have seen your performance across PMS Bazaar or some other places. I wanted to invest, and I never understand these editors whenever they write about PMS, they never write minimum is 50 lakhs. So somehow I get a call, it may be for, maybe person is asking for 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or something, and then I have to explain it's not my what you call requirement. It is a SEBI requirement on a PMS. You can't do without 50 lakhs. So I asked that how you want it. And our PMS has been doing, of course, very great last 3 years, and it is going around 35-50%. And they tell me the same. I'm expecting around 30% or 50% returns. And I don't know I'm right or wrong, but I always say that please, if you're thinking that, you go to the another PMS house who can tell you that, even though my statistics say so, but you need to look at as a long term. So when you are looking at 5 years or the over the, I can say above 5 years, on an average, you should look as a large cap or a Nifty around 12 to 14%. If it is a mid and small cap, you can say 16 to 18. If you are thinking that you may get 30 to 50% returns over the 5 years, we may not be the right person. So people perceive with the previous returns, and you have to realize the disclaimer always there, nobody reads. It's like a people who do a fag They never see that, okay, smoking is injurious to health. They never see that, even though the picture is so big and whatever, correct? So similarly, when somebody is seeing the good performance, they never see the disclaimer, the past return is not same as the future. So sometimes we have to realize what is a risk tolerance. And this is a concept. It is not with me. I'm going to explain you the concept. Wherever you invest, think this concept never change. Product may change. So concept of low is what? Low is normally, please see yourself, what is a government bond yield? Government bond yield is like, you can think is like a returns in a simpler word. If it is giving a 5.8 nowadays, so you will get a low risk returns in between 6 to 6.5 only. Because underlying of always, you can say PF, PPF bonds, insurance and all, they will buy the bonds. The bond market is bigger than the equity market. Slowly people are doing because it is a tradable, it is not lock-in. Previously, it was longer time lock-in, people used to not do it. But that is the low returns. High returns is equity. Equity, you can track yourself as a Nifty or Sensex, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Whatever average you can think, it will come around 14.9 to 15%. Okay, depending on what time zone you're looking, but it is approximately that. So if my low is around 5.5 or plus minus 1, same thing with the high risk is plus and minus 1 or 2. Medium is the weighted average. If I'm taking 50% of low and 50% of high, you will get the weighted average. If you're taking 30%, like a hybrid funds are 30% low and 70% high, you will get around 10%. So similarly, you have to start thinking risk on the logical level. So this is next way. When we are doing this, you should do asset allocation. You can't put all the eggs in a one basket. That is the one point I wanted to put it across very clearly, that make sure you have a good asset allocation and you will be able to take care on a long-term wealth creations. This is the chart which want to depict much better than me. I can say you that we should make sure the only asset class post-tax, post-inflation gave you the highest is equity, stocks, equity market, whatever you can say so. So, but these comes only with the compounding effect. If you think like, hey, today, if I did that tomorrow, so that when I was going through the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala biography and somebody asked the same, he is to declare what stocks he's having, but nobody was able to replicate him. So one of the person who's a very good friend of his, he's told them the reason is people don't have patience and the appetite what he had. Because most of the time people just don't have a patience. Patience is the one thing which creates the same thing. I'm sure people call him as a Warren Buffett of India. So same thing, if you notice it, Warren Buffett of normal things has come with the compounding only last 10 or 15 years, not previously. So that is the one thing you have to realize. If you are doing in a stock market, it is doing good. I have been doing from the last 26 years, my first salary onwards, I've been investing. Until date, I have never stopped. That is the one golden guide I can think of my dad has given. The day I got the first salary, and my first salary was, if I'm not wrong, was $1,800. And he told that it is not the money. You never invest money. You invest the 25% of whatever you are getting in your hand. So 25% of day one and till date. So 25% can be 10 lakhs or 25% can be 1000 or whatever it is. You should make sure first you invest 25%. And then you go ahead, whatever expenditure you want. That will create you wealth with a peace of mind and good happiness, which touch wood with the God grace, I am able to do, and I am telling you, you will be able to do if you follow the simple rule of 25% returns. So that's the next one, what talks about asset allocation. And again, it's a discipline and a behavior. The post of the time, people just see, okay, this is my past returns. It has been doing good. These are the good ranking. This is thing I will be able to take care of it. So most of the time, we have to realize it whenever we are creating a wealth. First, we have to take care of a wealth protection, which I told you about risk management, diversified because all the asset class keep moving. Sometime you must have seen that real estate was doing good. I have a person who has been having a very, very good real estate, maybe in thousands of crores. But last 8 years, he's not able to sell, neither he is having a liquidity. So we should have a good combination of real estate, international, gold, debt, and equity. Okay, I will tell you what all comes under those. Most of the people may know, but like a equity is a direct. You can go through stocks, you can go through the PMS, you can do it nowadays. Lot more new things which is coming. The two three things keep coming and going. One is it was I can say crypto before. Now it is only the VC funds and AIF. And a lot of people are doing non-listed stocks. That is also a stocks which is called a non-listed. And then debt funds are most of the time you can start thinking of debt mutual fund, FDs, PF, PPF, insurance, bonds comes under debt. Gold is gold. Gold you can do it not physical much. You can do it through ETFs. You can do the mutual funds. International funds is again a new trend coming. Lot many times I tell people if you want your kids to study abroad, it's good because your fluctuation on the currency doesn't come much. That's more important. Otherwise, international fund, we have two different risks. One is a market risk and one is a dollar or what you call currency risk. Real estate is being most of the people, that trend is changing again there, which talks about I can say fixed versus not. People saying, no, my kids are being settled abroad. It's not easy, so I may not be able to do. So this is a smaller, I can say, lesson. Please go through.
In a multilingual country like India, cricket is a common language 1.3 billion people speak. But do you know, this most revered sport in India has many similarities with investments. Let us have a look. Can you imagine a team of only batsmen? Never, right? We need a perfect blend of batsmen, bowlers and fielders to win the match. Similarly, to succeed in the game of investment, diversification is the only winning strategy. Just like a balanced team, we need a balanced portfolio to give us better returns. We can't hit the boundary on every delivery. Singles are just as important as boundaries. Similarly, we should invest in debt and equity. Equity provides us high returns when the market is good, and debt provides us consistent returns when the market is tight. Interesting, isn't it? Based on time, there are 3 different formats of cricket, and we select players based on their track record for each format. Similarly, we have different investment horizons. Whether short or long term, we must select funds according to our goals only. Lastly, just like a captain is necessary to lead the team, similarly, we should have a professional to lead and guide us throughout the game to ensure the suitability of products we buy. So, we hope you...
So this is the third most creation for the wealth, as I told you. It's a discipline, very, very important part of it. So that's what the Warren Buffett says. Successful investing takes time, discipline, patience, no matter how great the talent and effort. Sometimes it just takes time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. So this is the, I can say thing. So I'm just going to show you the what you call calculator. Please tell me if you are able to see my calculator. Can you see my calculator?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll start with SIP calculator. It's a very simple calculator. You can enter how much money you want. With the recording of this, Sanjay will send you this Excel. I'm sure you can play around with this quite a lot. Like if you want a 10,000 rupees, okay, for how many years, and you're expecting 14% at the time of maturity, what will be the amount? So this, if you notice, I just wanted to teach you. This is simple formula. You can play around. It is called a future value. A future value is the, you can say here E9, which is talking about how it is derived by number of 12. So because we are doing monthly, so it is taking care of 12. And then whatever it is, you have given 14, 14 divided by 12. I'm doing compounding at the monthly basis, otherwise not need to do divided by 12. Here I'm doing monthly investment 10,000 bucks, and for the period it is 5 into 12, this many months, and the period is PMT is my 10,000 rupees. So that's the way it is arrived, 8,61,000. This is a table, very simple, which I was showing in a PPT, also in the format of infographic. It's easy if I wanted to do for 5, 10, 20 years, and what rate I want, how much I will get it if I invest 10,000. So you can do a goal based also, and you can say that I want it. I'm just giving example that I want a 3 crore or a 6 crore or whatever things. Don't go and 20%. I always feel 20, 15 is the best. You will be able to the next is talking about in advance. So most of the time people forget the inflation. So you wanted to net it off inflations, how to take care on this part of it. Need calculator is another things you define that I wanted a 1 crore in 10 years or 2 crore in 10 years. How much money I should invest from now? You can say for a kid, I need my kid is 3 years old. And for 15 years later, I wanted a 1 crore for the education. You can do this. But the key for all those things, if I'm telling you again, is continuing the same thing. Most of the people, they start and in between for something or other, they removed. This is my all-time favorite is delay cost. I have been telling, okay, you do it. They will say, I'll do it. And then they realize it in middle of the years, you have delayed 5 years. So they said, okay, I'll do for 10 years. And they started 5 years. You will see the difference. How much is the cost of delay? So most of us, the cost of delay is always the highest. So I wanted to all of you to tell that, play around with this, execute. If you need your help, I'll be happy to help it. Otherwise, you have many more things to help. So it's not that you should invest where I say or something, but invest. That is a very, very important part of it. So I'll just run this part, which is the last but not the least risk. If I have time, I'll go back to that video, which does talk about how the patients and things works. Okay, risk is in our mind. So I always say you should cannot say that, okay, I don't want a risk, I'll keep it continue with an FDs or PF, PPF, and then you won't be able to get the power of compounding and achieving the goals. But managing risk is very, very important. You can't avoid the risk. Some risks are like, as I'm telling you, starting of this presentation also, some risk is known risk, which we will try to do diversification, asset allocation, you take care of all those things, you make a contingency plan. But suddenly, like a rain comes, nobody was aware of. COVID comes, nobody was aware of. How you can not see those things, but you can manage, that's very, very important part of it. This is the same what I saw in the SIP, how the power of compounding works. When you are younger, the longer term you stay, your retirement funds are much, much more higher than anything else. This is very, very important, and you do a fitment for yourself that where you are and how you can go one above. Survival and stability is not the right way. You should start thinking what are the alternatives you can do, which maybe I'm thinking of taking another session where a lot of people are coming that my debts are high and I'm not able to create wealth. So how to reduce a debt is also a one part of creating a wealth. Financially fit is a very thing which you're repaying the debt, and retirement planning and all the goals are being taken care of. The financially fit, competent, and independence is the three tracks you should drive now to go to the next level about when you're creating a wealth part of it. This is what I said. Most of us do the first, they spend first and then invest, but do the second one always, which I have been following for 26 years and I have been very happy, I can tell you. This is the choice which I have already informed you before. What comes under debt? Debt is a fixed plan. The difference between fixed and non-fixed is fixed plan, you can think they will tell it in advance. What are the interest? Like if you go to the FD, they'll say okay, I'm giving you 5.5 for 365 days, 6% for the 10 years. They'll tell you in advance. These are when you sell it, you know how much returns you are getting. You don't know in advance. So these are the things which is giving you fixed, but it's very low. Non-fixed will give you good, but you should stay long, have discipline, and make it more compounding level. Okay. I have done this. So this is my 9 point. Set a goal for long, short, and midterm. Define the financial goal and quantify. Very important. Make sure each investment is linked with the goal. Define your risk level. When you are working, take a higher risk. When you're young, you take a higher risk. When you are very close to the goal, you reduce the risk. Okay. Make sure minimum 20. I always recommend 25 normally and do more than 25. Take the good investment revenue. Think about it is post tax and post inflation and other things. Balance your risk and return. Reduce your risk through SIP and STP. Track your things at least twice in a year. Most of us, I have seen people are, one girl came to me very young and she's telling I have one of investment in my app wise. I see 4 to 5 times in a day, and I'm saying why you're increasing your BP to see, is it your in a day your money goes up and down or what? Even your stocks and all this stuff, you should think of long term. I said, I have never seen my portfolio also for last 15 years. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. My goals has not come. Why to see? I know. So you have to be very clearly see that how often you should track. It is tracking daily, it is not going to help you out. Track it, it's good to track. Once or twice in a year is a very healthy tracking as long as you are managing what you have planned for. With this, I conclude and I'll be happy to take up all the questions and answer. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I think we have 3 more questions in question and answer. So the first question is, dear ma'am, please advise how good is Kisan Vikas Patra investment 6.9% for 10 years, 4 months. Money doubles in 10 years and 4 months. Is this good investment and safe investment?
So this is a simple question. I always feel it is easier to do. It's a rule of 72. Okay. So if you're saying rule of 72 divided by 10.4 years, that will be talking about that what is the returns you're getting. And NSE or GPOs are taxable. So if you are in a higher taxable, it is not okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
The next question is, please tell how to allocate weightage to stock while constructing of equity portfolio on yourself.
So normally we don't give the weightage to the stocks. Normally asset allocation first happen between the debt equity balance and we normally do equity or real estate, gold and real estate. That's a way. But you are talking about only stock portfolio, then it will go as a sector wise. I may not be the right person to tell you how sector wise they do because our team does through only PMS. We don't do a single stocks. But if you have any specific question, please write to me. I'll ask my research team to tell about it.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, which is the best investment strategy follow in case of lump sum fund for 50-year-old person?
So most of the time, whenever it's not the 50 or not 50, it is depending on this money you are putting for what goal. Okay. So I'm assuming by 58 or 60, you're going to retire. So you will start saying that, okay, you are looking this for the retirement. So you will start saying that, okay, within 5 years, I may take an equity and after that I'll move to the balance. When it is one time, you do through the averaging throughout. If you are doing in a mutual fund, do the STPs and do it. If you are doing in a PMS, you are well doing over the period and take the averaging part of it. So most of the time, whenever you are doing lump sum, you should do averaging and do the diversification towards the sectors. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, ULIP is best option for investment or?
ULIP is always good, but people have been, I can say, in the media has told so negative. People sometimes don't realize it because ULIP, if you are doing within the market cycle changes, like if from mid to equity to the debt, you don't have a capital gains over there, and it will give you the tax free. Okay, but last budget has moved that only 2.5 lakhs you can do. So till 2.5 lakhs doing and taking the allocation as per the market is the best way. But most of us, what they do once you do it in a ULIP, they don't do the changes between debt to equity and the hybrid. Then it is an issue. But yes, I feel ULIP taking as a wealth creation is good as long as you are not paying the tax. And second thing is you are doing the allocation as per the market.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, we have a query from Mr. Sasam. Suggest a hybrid fund to invest.
There are many hybrid funds, and you just give it to me. I'll ask our team to reply and reasoning behind what are the different hybrid funds. So most of the time, I normally don't give the name depending on the because what is your need, I am not sure of.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, what are your views on fractional commercial real estate ownership through service like strata or well? And also the next same thing continued. What about secured bonds like from services like Wind Wealth?
I'm not able to see, Sanjay, what was the question, please?
The question is, what are your views on fractional commercial real estate ownership through service like strata or well? And also, like, what about secured bonds like from service like Wind Wealth? So I think
I'm assuming you're talking about a REIT here, and the REIT depends on people because real estate structure is yet to come up. They are coming up very well, but it is not much. In the past, this fractional things of the REIT real estate is having a lot of issues. So what I can see here is what is your view on NPS? Yes, NPS is good. It will give you at least good, I can say, tax benefit. And if you have in a company, please do take care also of that.
thank you, ma'am. We have one more question. What is the ideal time for sector-specific mutual fund? Do you advise lump sum or SIP?
Sector is the one thing which we never do because the sectoral is a very, very high risk. We, as a Right Horizons, our investment philosophy is risk adjusted returns. So, sector gives a very good. So, I can tell you, we are being doing a sectoral part as a part of a PMS, but not as in a mutual fund because they have a lot more, I can say, taxation. And if you are not exit on the time, you will be quite negative. So we have done it in the past sometimes, like a pharma, we came in the PMS and we come out. So your entry and exit has to be very clear when you are in a sector. We have done previously China fund, it didn't go well. So many times sectoral funds are the funds which will give you very high good returns. But if you're not exited, your returns are very low. So it is good to have a 2% less returns, but be on a safer side.
Thank you, ma'am. We have one more question. Under current situation, what's the ideal period it takes to double investment safely?
What do you mean by ideal period to take a double investment safety?
Actually, the question is, under current situation, what's the ideal period is to take double investment safety?
I don't know what you mean, but let me try to see here. You're talking about what are the current situation if you wanted to invest. Our belief is that this decade is going to be the multiple bull run and it is going to be a great in equity. But mid and small cap has already been run up. So STRI, we are doing more on a large multi and hybrid funds. But yes, in a longer run, you should do the whenever the interest rates are good, lock in the good rates. I can tell you now bonds are coming as a good yield, which is AAA and AAA plus, maybe around 7.5. So if you want a debt, lock in a longer term bonds. If you want a guaranteed pension plans, they are also come up because interest rates are good. They are giving you 6.5 to 7% tax-free returns for 35 years. Please do take care. That is also good because these kind of product comes only for a limited period when the interest rates are good. And if you're locking in now, your next 35 years is safer. So for any wealth advisors, we always look as how to lock your post-tax, post-inflation returns for the longest time. And these are the good things you should look at.